This omelette in the Bear has just divided. I would eat every meal they prepare on the Bear. And not only because I'd eat anything Jeremy Allen White put in front of me, but also because it always looks so good. In Season 2, though, producers and real-life chefs Courtney Storer and Maddie Matheson introduced a dish that's proved divisive, the humble omelette. The omelette appears in Episode 9, which is aptly called Omelette, and is made by Sydney Ayo Edebiri for a pregnant Natalie Abby Elliott, who, buried in admin ahead of the restaurant's reopening, hasn't had time to eat. In a rare moment for the series, we get an ASMR-esque 2-minute scene of the omelette being prepared from start to finish. Now, you might be wondering, what can possibly be so divisive about an omelette? Well as loading the pan with butter and whisking 3 eggs, Sydney squeezes a generous amount of Boursin cheese into the middle of the omelette, before topping it off with chives and crisps. As someone who stuffs crisps into every sandwich they eat, I'm on board with a crisp finish to an omelette. I was, however, more skeptical about the Boursin, partly because soft cheese and eggs doesn't seem like a texture combination that would work, but also because it sounds a little rich. Still, unlike a braised beef sandwich or a plum gelée, it's something I, an unskilled cook, can make at home. So I did, and it was, as expected, okay. Admittedly, I'd overcooked the eggs because, even though it was the whole reason I was making the omelette, I initially forgot to put the Boursin in. But that's a me problem, so I'll omit that from my review, which is, the Boursin gave the omelette a surprising and welcomed flavor, and the crisps added a nice, though probably unnecessary, texture. Ultimately, though, it was too rich, and truthfully, I still feel a little sick as I'm writing this. But what do actual chefs think of it? Are crisps in? Will the Bear ignite a crisp resurgence in restaurants? Or is the Boursin crisp egg combo actually an abomination? I called some chefs to find out. First up, the Michelin-starred dining room at the Goring Hotel in London, because if anyone has mastered the omelette, it's going to be a restaurant that boasts a lobster omelette among its signature dishes. Graham Squire, executive chef, tells me that although Sydney's omelette is interesting, he wouldn't eat it. Boursin with sautéed potatoes, yes, but not crisps, he explains. That doesn't mean crisps should be excluded from menus. At the Goring, crisps are used in cooking and can be found in several dishes on our dining room menu, he tells me. These include the sea bass dish, where we make a potato souffle crisp, and also in one of our canapés, where we fry sliced potato until golden and crispy. This is then turned into a potato fung with cream. The canapé is then finished with shreds of crisps and mushroom powder. So yes, crisps can and should be used, a resurgence is possible. Although there isn't an omelette on Eggslet's menu, the chain is undeniably an expert in eggs, so I called them up to get their expertise. I'm so sorry. Bruno Piers, chef and operations manager, initially compliments Sydney's omelette making technique and, unlike Graham, says he would give the recipe a try. When I ask if he'd experiment with any particular flavor of crisp, he references a video he recently watched of a YouTuber chef adding truffle crisps to a Spanish tortilla. Bruno tells me that Eggslet is actually set to introduce shoestring fries to their menu, incorporating them into their egg sandwiches. The move isn't quite inspired by the Bear, as the team has been planning it for the last 6 months, but the show might galvanize Eggslet to bring forward the addition. I'd say crisps are trending. Ads marketing manager Anna Fernandez. Not only do they give a great texture, they really partner well with eggs. And what advice do the Eggslet team have for cooking with crisps? The main thing is to keep the crisps crisp, says Bruno, so make sure you add them at the very end of preparing the dish. Gary Manning, chef and owner of the Quarter restaurant in Liverpool, is less enthusiastic about cooking with, or seemingly eating, crisps. Although he's used crisps in cooking to garnish venison, he's never opened a packet and put them on any food. Not even in a sandwich, I ask. I haven't done that since my age reached double figures. Fair enough. Still, Gary does think that crisps are starting to trend a little on menus. This could be a great marketing tool, he admits. Like most food, they'll be sort of fashionable, then the cycle will move on. So, what about Sydney's recipe? Let's say it's a modern twist on an old classic, says Gary, adding that he would not eat it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I don't have high hopes for the following question, but I ask anyway. Any tips for making a crisp omelette? Make an omelette and don't add crisps.